Hey tubers, welcome back for another venture. Welcome to the Rhinebeck car show. So here we are at the car show swap meet. Only about half the spots filled. A little disappointing from that point of view. But fear not, Harvey found some deals. Back from the car show, 40,000 steps later, a bunch of it pulling a cart. I managed to bring home a couple of truckloads full of all kinds of wonderful items. I'm going to kind of give it a quick sort and then we'll start talking about it. So this is kind of an ATV channel, so let's start with the ATV kind of stuff. So the gorilla in the room is this Cm400A 1981. It's a Honda, and the story on this guy is it truly is a junkyard dog. So it was made in 81. The last year it was registered was 85. This came from a junkyard in Orange County, and they were kind of riding it around the junkyard, and then the older gentleman who ended up kind of rode it around his house a little bit, and it was kept in a garage. Raccoon tore up the seat. Anyway, it sat in the garage for years after he passed on, and it got to this state. I know one of the guys that used to be on the TV show Orange County Chopper. Anyway, he got it, or actually I guess his mom inherited it. And he didn't want it, and it kind of got ratty. They didn't have title for it. So he sold it to me at the car show for 150 bucks. And I have the key for it. This is one of those Hondamatic things. It's high, low, neutral, and then slip and slide to make a go torque converter, I guess. So 150 bucks. I bought it because I thought the engine would be cool to put into a project. I would like to get it running in its current condition to see what's going on with it. I did get the key with it, so it should be fun. So that was the first 150. So working my way down and around, this is 70 cc's, 72 cc's. It's obviously a China motor. It's seized up. It's a centrifugal transmission, torque converter, whatever you want to call it. It's really just the centrifugal clutch, slip and slide. Anyway, I need this side for an engine, so I went $15 for that, and there's a spare head and a few other things. Once again, it seems to be seized up. I'm not quite sure why. I didn't put any time and effort into figuring that out. Just gave the guy 15 bucks and took it. Number 35 chain, like a mile of it. Good for mini bikes. Sprocket. The sprocket was $1. The chain was $7. Building exhaust pipes. I guess these are meant to come off like the header of a hot rod. You weld them on. You can see they're already ceramic coated inside. I paid $1 each for it. The toolbox was $1. The tire pump was $2. Met up with one of my subscribers, E-Man Deluxe. Cool guy. He's out of Connecticut. He got me these fenders, which was really cool. I like when people give me gifts, so he gave me that as a gift. Taillight, the bracket was $1. I'm hoping this is the right size for air cleaners, right? That was $1. Motorcycle chain. This was part of a bigger deal, but it was probably somewhere around $1. Sprockets, I think I paid $1 each for them. Toolkit was $1. I really bought it for the bag. Meter was $1. This pile of electronics, I think I went $10 for it, and specifically I saw, where'd it go? Not this guy, though. This guy has a pulse generator on it, which makes it interesting. Oh, I saw this. I don't know how much you guys work on Hondas, but this start button right here is hard to get in good condition, and so is all this in really nice shape. So anyway, I went $10 for all the wiring, and probably after I take what I want, there's probably $10 worth of scrap wiring here. You know, things like the headlight and, you know, the connectors. I'm not sure what this stator goes to, but, you know, having this stuff kind of floating around when you need parts, always handy. Yeah, I mean, it's a box of stuff, and right, there's obviously some carburetor junk and other junk in here. You know, once again, this stuff, kind of when you have a problem, assuming you can find the box, it's always interesting. I guess that's a horn for a kid's bike. Anyway, I grabbed these guys. They turned out to be a little less than $1 each. They're easy on the hands when you go to pull start them. This is a Sony. He wanted 20 for it, but he's going out of business, my buddy Ralph. So that was $1. The gas tank, it's a China gas tank. It was $3. These are off of Volkswagen. I'm not sure of the year. But I looked at them, I said, boy, that looks like about the right size to build ATV exhaust pipes. My buddy Charlie just said, take them, get them out of here. So I thought that was great. Seat was $5. One of the projects I'm hopefully going to put together soon. So this is kind of the all-terrain vehicle stuff. Moving on, I've been after a pallet jack for a while, and you know, to buy a completely beat up one, you know, completely trashed, typically they cost somewhere $150 if they need a bit rebuild, $250 to $300 if they work. I managed to pick up this one for $35. Buddy of mine, once again, Ralph, going out of business, half price sale. And you know, I looked at it last time we caught up, but I couldn't take it away because I couldn't lift it onto the truck by myself, and I would have had to. So I said, if you still have that next time, I'll take it. He says, no guarantee, you know, first 35. So he still had it, and I gave him his 35, and I got it. I had a couple of people with me to help me load it on up, right? That's tough to load by yourself. You'd be amazed how much the handle swings around and smacks you upside the head. So, you know, real quick story. At work, we used to ride these things, right? You kind of stand on one, right, and, you know, push with your feet and steer. One of the guys got winging along pretty good down in the sub-fab hallway. And it was time for him to make a turn, but he saw somebody who he didn't know if they were going to drop a dime for riding these things. We weren't supposed to. So he was kind of looking at him, and he wasn't paying attention. He ran right into the wall, you know, split his lip, bloodied his nose a little bit, right? And it's not helpful because as we were cheering him on, and suddenly he crashes, right? We're all laughing at him, and then we realized that it was a situation that was going to involve emergency control and a note, right? An accident report. So at that point, we kind of, you know, what are we going to do? Kind of stuff. So we made ourselves disappear. And we made the dolly disappear, and you know, he did one of these, claimed to be a little faint and bumped his head type thing, and we all kind of skated on it. But anyway, just quickly, you can get winging along pretty good, and if you jack them up before you ride them, they get very unstable. But they were fun. They were a lot of fun. So in the land of rigging, tying stuff down, this is $5 worth. I got the crate and all that rope and all those slings. I gave $5. So this is the batch of free stuff that followed me home. Ends here. Forget that. So just going through, this carton was marked free, and there was a few interesting things on top that I jumped right on, but you can see for your Ford lovers or your Chevy lovers. Not sure what that goes to. It's not a Tesla. I don't know, Oldsmobile maybe. Right, anyway. So that stuff was in there. Remote oil filter. I got this because I want to use the rubber hose as gas line. Blinker. I think this thing kind of goes over one of these maybe. These things are interesting. Right. More buckets. Right. When I see Musty One, I'll show some of this stuff to him. He might find it interesting, particularly these things, for when he builds stuff. Got me a gas pedal. Now I just need to find the rest of a car. I don't know, looks like Dodge to me. Water pump, that doesn't go to anything. It's probably used. I'm just going to throw it away. The rear view mirror that's peeling. Turn signal, blinkers, horns, cheap tools. But once again, this was in the bin. Another guy handed me a battery, and I'll show you why. Right, pivots for satellite speakers, remote speakers, whatever. You could see the clock. I mean, a lot of this stuff is hard to pass up for $1. This mess, whatever it is, right? I'm not sure why it, has the dye on there. Anyway, stuff for fishing, I guess. There's 2 of these. So I'm probably going to bring that to my son's. In here, seat belts and lights, air cleaner for a Briggs or a Onan old timer. In the bottom of these boxes, there's just like this stuff that you kind of find. Anyhow, so that's the free stuff. So I was going through the hoard of stuff, and I guess I found more all-terrain vehicle stuff. This is the front shocks, wheel hub brake, and triple tree from a 200S. So I was really, really happy to find that. Matter of fact, you can see it's labeled right there. So that was cool. And I picked up these things. These were only $1 each. And how could you pass that up for $1? Kawasaki rock guard, and this Kawasaki foot pegs. That's the rock guard thing. So more ATV stuff. I bought so much stuff. I was kind of surprised as I was going through it once I got it home. Just to break things up, this is the $1 stuff. So he threw in a bunch of these. I don't think he charged me for a lot of it. These are spotlights that come on with the motion detector. You got to put your own bulbs in them. You can see they get a little wet from sitting there. All this $1. Right, step bits. This is Snap-on for $1. Mac for $1. Gear wrench. Old Sears. Black & Decker. I have a project for that. How's that for a rheostat? Fans, back when they made them up in Woodstock, New York. Green fan, I believe. Metal, for made in the U.S. Just loose pieces. All of that $1 each. Another woman had these tail lights. I don't know if they was her husband's and he passed on. Cat eye, tail, stoplight lens, rat rod, bus, whatever. So as I was kind of looking at them, then I realized all of these, including the fan, were $1. Kia rear, right? That Mustang tail light. I grabbed the Mustang because I thought it was just cool looking. Doesn't have a light bulb in it. But all this other stuff has bulbs in it. I mean, heck, the light bulb assemblies are worth more than these. They're marked. I bought them for the lamp assemblies. There's your Oldsmobile, right? Jeep Grand Cherokee. I mean, they appear to be in good shape, like they'll bolt right up, nothing's broken. I just want the lamps. So eventually somebody will tell me they need something and I'll say, oh, I got that Oldsmobile side marker. To me it looked like a brake light, but anyway. So the light cord assortment. Grab the seat for $5. We already talked about the gas tank. My buddy Harry dug up all these bins of things, you know. That's an inverter. You plug it into your lighter, and you can have your 5 volts or your 110 power converters. Whole load of these. So I was kind of going through this stuff, and I discovered that there were bags of watches in here. Right? I'm like, really? I mean, all different varieties. I think I mean, everything from fake, that's a Nixon. I'm not sure who that is, but there was like a fake Rolex in here. I mean, this is a Citizen, so it says. Oh, there you go. A Citizen, so it says. I mean, I don't know. Polo. So, yeah, I don't know what the story is. Beverly Hills. Yeah, I don't think he even knew. This is a fossil, that all these watches were in here. So there's that bag. I mean, that's the G-Shock that I mentioned. And look at that beast. So anyway, in this bin with all this electronic stuff, you got all these watches in here. Also, these batteries. These, like, you recharge them and they go in mag lights, interstate. So I got a bunch of that stuff. Anyway, I think this bin was $20, and I got more bins from him. I got this bin full of meters, everything from light meters to Protec. I mean, I don't know how much of this stuff is any good. That's old Radio Shack. Progressive Electronics. The Milwaukee tubing cutter came with this. Tack as well. I can just stuff finder. Anyway, so all these meters, I think the other bin was 20 and this one was 10, or the other way around, just to kind of go through them. I bought this. This was $10. I guess there's 24 of these. These are white LEDs in this little box, and right, you spin that into its proper socket, or you put the adapter on them. So I guess they run on 110. Well, they actually say it. There, I think this whole box with, I think there's 24 in here. Something like that. 24 pieces. Anyway, I think he got me for 10 on this. So I think this about wraps up the mess. I got a nice assortment of all-terrain vehicle parts, and you know, I started sorting some of this stuff. Oh, this batch of light bulbs, including this batch of light bulbs down here. I think it was like $6 or $8, and stuff like this for your like Honda headlights are heavy duty money. I like these because they were LED. I think I picked up a couple of those. They were only like $3 each. You know, a lot of this stuff just amuses me. So I think I paid real money for these. I think I paid $10 for these. Some of them are used, but if you're ever trying to buy these, you realize how expensive they are. These are for a the vibrating saws. Vibra saw is what we used to call them when we worked with them. What else? I think I've showed you everything. I think he got me 10 for this hunk of flexible exhaust pipe. We talked about that. We talked about that. That was a crazy deal for $35. I mean, you guys could see it's hardly used. I couldn't go wrong. 35. Oh, this guy. Hope somebody didn't clip it from a job the Rubbermaid. We were going back and forth. I think I ended up giving him $75 for this. And the reason why is I bought a bunch of stuff, so I just kind of loaded it in there to get it down to the car. This thing could take some nice heavy weight. It was good to have. Supposedly max load is 300 pounds. I think I had more than that into it. You know, when you need stuff, I'm forever going through rope. I bet you that rope and the milk crate it was in and so forth at $5. How could you go wrong? Anyway, I'm just rambling on. I actually have to start putting some of this junk away. And in the meantime, I need you all to keep your feet down, your heads up, and I need you to get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.